On the crime beat tonight, a 43-year-old Corpus Christi man has been arrested on charges of sexually abusing 2 children and also possession of child pornography. As our Rudy Trevino reports, the alleged abuses are believed to have started 6 years ago, but investigators didn't learn of the allegations until just recently.
According to a police affidavit, on June 2nd of this year, Moreno began chatting with someone on a dating app. That person was a police informant. Moreno allegedly shared pictures and videos of children under the age of 14 performing illicit acts with an adult. The informant then told police that Moreno revealed that he had had sex with 2 children often. On June 5th, the CCPD Internet Crimes Division obtained subpoenas and began discovering Moreno's internet habits and his cell phone data. A warrant for his arrest was issued soon after, and he was taken into custody. Investigators then identified 2 children Moreno had allegedly known for a little more than 6 years, but had known the children's family for 17 years. The victims were interviewed at the Children's Advocacy Center, where they confirmed Moreno had sexually abused them. They told investigators that they would spend the night with him at his home and that he would buy them gifts. If found guilty of the first-degree felony, Moreno could spend the rest of his life in prison. Bond has been set at $250,000. Rudy Trevino, 3 News.
Other news.